All right, guys. So, very important story that's gonna fly under the radar because most of us are sitting around talking about race and bickering with each other about race, right? I'm a part of that, right? I can't sit here and act like I don't participate. But to make up for it, I'm at least trying to bring some legitimate news to you, okay? As the post office might be spying on you, right? They could be spying on us. It's come out that USPS has covert operations that may monitor social media posts. So let's read a little bit more here. A division of the U.S. Postal Service that investigates illegal mail activities has quietly operated a program that monitors Americans' social media posts, according to a government document published by Yahoo News. The Internet Covert Operations Program, ICOP, that's so ironic. Oh my God. Part of the USPS law enforcement arm, I did not know the USPS had a law enforcement arm, is one of 7 groups that deal with cyber crime, according to the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, which says it targets the use of the mail to facilitate black market trade and other illegal activities related to drugs, fraud, and violent crime. But that description neglects to mention that the group also tracks social media sites for inflammatory posts, including messages about planned protests. So at first it seemed like they were just trying to do this in order to monitor what goes through mail, right? Which kind of makes sense, okay? We don't want the U.S. Postal Service being used to facilitate illegal activities. However, the program apparently is more expansive than that. Quote, analysts with the United States Postal Inspection Service Internet Covert Operations Program monitored significant activity regarding planned protests occurring internationally and domestically on March 20th, 2021, said a March 16 government bulletin marked as law enforcement sensitive and distributed by the Department of Homeland Security. Locations and times have been identified for these protests, which are being distributed online across multiple social media platforms to include right-wing leaning Parler and Telegram accounts. Wow. The bulletin appears to refer to marches surrounding the worldwide rally for freedom and democracy when demonstrators around the world protested coronavirus lockdown restrictions. Parler users have commented about their intent to use the rallies to engage in violence. Image 3 on the right is a screenshot from Parler indicating to users discussing the event as an opportunity to engage in a fight and to do serious damage, the bulletin said, noting that no intelligence is available to suggest the legitimacy of these threats. So, the bulletin includes screenshot of posts from Facebook, Parler, and Telegram, including one by an alleged member of the Proud Boys. ICOPS analysts are currently monitoring these social media channels for any potential threats stemming from the scheduled protests and will disseminate intelligence updates as needed, the bulletin says. All right, so as you can see here, guys, this is kind of what the bulletin looks like, right? And as you can see here, these are the Parler posts that they were monitoring, okay? And yeah, so essentially, the post office is spying on Parler, right, and other social media accounts, okay? And like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, this is the type of news that we ignore, that we don't want to talk about because we're sitting here talking about race and police and things that really just don't affect that many people. It just doesn't, right? And again, I'm guilty of this, right? But at the same time, you have something like this that in my mind has some serious questions about civil liberties, right? It's one thing for the FBI to be monitoring potential terrorist threats, okay? Like legitimate threats, right? But there's another thing for them to be monitoring social media posts about protests when there's no real legitimate threats or anything like that, right? And the fact that this is being done through the U.S. Postal Service is so weird to me, right? That's weird to me, and I have a lot of questions about that. And it's just one of those things where, you know, over time, it seems that it is apparent that we're slowly but surely becoming a police state, right? You got the Patriot Act, which in my mind is 100% unconstitutional, right? It is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, right? That prohibits the government from doing illegal searches and seizures without a warrant, right? Which goes back, if you guys ever research this stuff, but it actually goes back to old Anglo-American traditions that they love to call racist, right? Between England, right, in terms of how they used to handle this stuff under the monarchy. Which is funny because they want to frame that as racist, but anytime you read anything scholarly about America, especially during our founding and our relationship with England, they always refer to Anglo-American or Anglo-Saxon traditions, right? I mean, you just can't ignore history, right? You can't change the wording of history, but that's beside this point. That's probably another video for another day. But yeah, guys, this calls into question, again, what rights do we actually have at this point, guys? What rights do we have? Because the government's spying on us, right? The post office is spying on us. And it's almost like nobody really cares. You know, and we sit and we, you know, argue about things that really only affect a very small amount of people. But the actual civil liberties that are being violated by the government, the things they're actually doing, nobody cares about. Because that doesn't get headlines, right? You can't sell books off of it. You can't make money off of it. People can't get super outraged, you know, from this type of stuff. You know, just be aware that, you know, when you post on social media, that the post office now probably is monitoring your post. Okay, especially if you post about, you know, protests or, you know, doing something like that, you know, it's probably getting looked at closely. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about this. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.